Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to this Monday's edition of National Matters. I'm your pastor, and on behalf of my wife, on behalf of the Healing Word Ministries International, the church that God has blessed us with, that we pastor, and especially on behalf of the crew on duty, I want to welcome you. Please tell somebody that Pastor Chiluba is on National Matters. You can watch us on DSTV 274, on GoTV 98, and also on Topstar on 106. More so, if in case you are you don't have those channels, you can still watch us live on YouTube. You can watch us on Facebook. Even after this interview, you can go to it and be able to tune in. Welcome, my dear Camnet followers. Now, before I introduce my guest, my wife and I, together with our team, we have believed that every Zambian was born for greatness, and that you and I can contribute to the development of this nation. Time is over when most of the people would say, we are waiting for the government, we are waiting for the government. Let me tell you something. If a parent has 12 children and he has only little resources and all the children are crying to the father or mother, you stress the parents. We should be able to grow up and be able to go and do our peace work so that we can contribute to the administration of our parents. But in this case, I believe with all my heart that every Zambian can be a blessing to the government of Zambia. The time of blaming the government is long gone. The time of blaming this one has done this one has done that, it's long gone. Again, it's my personal view, which I believe very strongly. If you have a garden in the backyard, or you have some land, half an hectare, and you are growing your own tomatoes, cucumbers, you are growing watermelons, what has the government got to do with you planting something in the ground? That's not the work of the government. Now, you just scale it up from half an acre or hectare, you scale it up to 100 hectares. That's how my mind thinks. Well, tonight is another night. Can Zambia develop through agriculture? Can we move this so-called third world to the second world, to the first world? Is it possible? Or our minds are stuck to say we are Africans? To help me look at this and more, in the studio I have my guest, who is one of the blessing in the nation, Mr. Bernard Kamweneshe. Welcome to the program.
Thank you very much, Pastor. Thank you very much. Good evening, viewers.
How is the family?
The family is good. We are blessed, Pastor. We're happy.
You are married? You have children, or?
Yeah, I'm married. I've got 2 children. One, the boy, firstborn, is working with me. I'm a publisher and a farmer. We publish educational books, and we distribute our books throughout schools in Zambia, including the outside, especially our neighboring countries. Then my daughter, the last one, is in China studying economics. She's doing masters now. Yes, sir.
You have invested?
Yes, we've tried.
Congratulations to you and your wife. Dear Camnet TV viewers, I'll ask my guest tonight to tell you who he is, but let me just tell you that he's one of the biologists. Biologists, right?
Yes, I am.
I got it right. One of the biologists. He's got a rich background, and as you heard him, he writes a lot of books. And introduce yourself to Camnet TV viewers. Who is Mr. Bernard Kamweneshe?
Well, Bernard Kamweneshe, As you've rightly pointed out, I'm a biologist. I was born in Luanshya, and I have a brother, my older brother. I'm the last born. Anyway, I'm not stupid, but I've tried to be good. I know last borns are always very difficult to deal with. But yeah, my mother died, so I'm no longer a last born because she used to look after me like a baby all the time. Yeah, so I went to school.
And your dad is here?
My daddy passed away before I went to school.
Okay.
Sorry about I went to school a bit late because my father used to say my child is not yet. You know, he's still a baby all the time. And he passed away before I went to school in grade 1. We come from a place called Matipa, Chief Matipa in Luwingu district. So my father was a miner in Luanshya. So what happened when he died in the village, he went visiting, and we got sad news that he died in the village. So that's how the mines those days used to help their workers. We loaded up in their transport to get back to the village. It was not a good sight when we reached there and being in the village the first time. So our people, my father's relatives, grabbed everything from us. They grabbed everything, including my shorts that I was wearing. It was terrible. And my father had put up 2 houses in the village, quite good houses. And the relatives grabbed everything from us. We had nothing. And we lived, my mother and I and my brother, we lived in a very deplorable condition. We had no home because they grabbed everything from us. So the firstborn, because there were 3 of us in the family, the firstborn decided to find a job. That time it wasn't very difficult. So that's when we went back to Mufulira. We stayed with my brother. So that's when he left. He went to UK for studies, and I remained with just 2 of us, looking after ourselves.
Is he still in the UK?
No, he died also. He died. Yeah.
Oh,
but he was like my father. He brought me up. Imagine from grade 1 all the way up to university. It wasn't an easy job. So he was almost like a father, not like a brother. So, but he died. You know, the first wind of AIDS when it just started. Yeah, my brother suffered so much, and I had to look after him for a long time, and he passed on. The wife ran out away, and he took the children. She never came back to mourn the husband. So it was. But
he's the one who brought you up.
He's the one who brought me up.
And he brought up the other brother of yours?
Exactly.
What is your brother doing?
My brother's just retired. He was a hospital administrator in Chila Bombwe, Konkola Mine Hospital. He just retired about 2 years ago. Now he's running a school of his own. He's running the school with the wife. Yeah, because the wife was a teacher, and just put up a school, and it goes up to grade 9. So that's what they're doing now. For me, I decided to be. I've worked as a biologist. When I finished my first degree, University of Zambia, then I went straight to stay in the Bangweulu Basin. The Bangweulu, to run a project which I started just when I finished my first degree. I went into Bangweulu. These people, I looked at their poverty, and yet they have a lot of resources that can count on to develop their, living. So I was, when you are going to Samfya, there's a place, Tuta Road. Okay, that's a problem. That's a place.
Yeah.
Yes. So
Tuta, I just know the Tuta Bridge. I went to Mansa many years ago.
Yeah.
To pick my mother. I used that Tuta Bridge, and last year I went to Mansa to see my grandchild get married there. So I know Tuta.
Good one. So you see, that's the longest bridge in Africa. That bridge across those swamps. And I hope the viewers know when I talk about black lechwe. This is an antelope. It's an animal that is found. It's endemic. What I mean by endemic, it's only found, the good God has made this species and only found in Zambia, nowhere else in the world.
Are you serious?
Yes. So what we did, these animals were extincting because people were killing them too much without any
Lessons.
exactly. So what happened was we found, because the Black Lechwe is so special, because people from all over the world, if they have to come to Zambia, they have to come and see the Lechwe. The same Bangweulu basin, or the swamps, it's got other species that are not found anywhere else in the world. Like
Is the Black Lechwe still there?
Yes, the Black Lechwe is still there. By the time I finished my first degree in university, we had a Dr. Chabwera, who is now a lecturer at University of Zambia. We came together. He said, you are just graduating, and you'll be happy that we go out flat out and develop a project that will look after these Bangweulu swamps, especially with the shoebill stork I'm talking about is a bird which has got a very big head, and the Black Lechwe. Because those were special, and people from all over the world, they wanted to see these two species. And these are only found in Bangweulu. There used to be this Black Lechwe, lechwes. There's a lechwe in Kafue Flats. It's called Kafue Lechwe. But the Kafue found in Bangweulu is called Black Lechwe, for one big reason, that they look the same. You can't differentiate them very well, but the Black Lechwe has got a patch on the side. Okay, so that's why it's called Black Lechwe. And the other one is called Kafue Lechwe, the one found in the Kafue Flats. So we looked at these species. We were very worried that it could reach extinction at the rate it was going. You know, poachers were coming from all over the place. If you remember the same road we are talking about, the Tuta Road, people used to come there. They used to cross the road, and they would come with their big vehicles and bash them, bash them, bash them. They kill 100 per night and drive off. So the big business in Mansa, big business on the Copper Belt. So that's how we came up with this idea of protecting that species.
Which year was that?
This was when I just left university in 1986.
1986.
Yes, yes, Pastor. So my being there was, we wanted to preserve or conserve, because preserve is something else, preserve we don't use. But we wanted to conserve this species to a point that we protected it first and look at the trend in its population. Okay, so we employed people called village scouts. We went to the villages, we talked to the people. Of course, we worked with the national parks. That type was called national parks and wildlife and national parks. So we had to involve communities, the chiefs, the church, churches, so that we had to explain to them the importance of that species, which we worked for 10 years, and we saw the rise in the population in this species. It was wonderful. The time we got there, okay, my people may ask, how do you count them? There's a special way we count these animals. We have to fly.
You fly?
You fly over them, and you estimate. Where you find they're so crowded, you take pictures, and you can come from the pictures from the bottom, from the top. So that was the idea. We had about 3,000 animals.
Black Lechwe.
Black Lechwe. That time when we just moved in. So we worked for years with the people, educating the importance. That's why I say, Zambia, we're always talking about mining. There are a lot of things that we have in this country that we can use to develop our country. And the wildlife and tourism. Tourism is so special. To promote tourism, this country can turn around.
So now, Mr. Kamwenesha, how did you move from, as a biologist, you deal with living things, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
You deal with living things. Would you say that you work closely with the who are these who look after animals? The doctors, the vet doctors?
Vet doctors, yes.
Would you say that you cooperate in some ways?
Yes, just to make it clear to our viewers, biologist or biology means study of life. Okay? Biology, because bio means life. Ology means study. So when you're a biologist, you are studying almost every living thing. But of course, you have to look at where the habitat mean where they live, their homes, the grass, the soil, the waters, and everything. It's a general way of looking at things so that the animal you are studying can survive. Yeah. So of course we do work as a biologist. We study a lot of things. We like everything. We have to look at the grass. You have to look at the diseases. So most of the times when there was a problem like diseases, we work very closely with vet people. For that time we're working for University of Zambia. Where we had big problems, we were inviting other people from South Africa, Europe. Yes, so, but mostly we had to work with our local people from our local universities.
May I ask you, Mr. Kamweleche, how did you move from looking at black lechwe to go into farming? You have a farm.
Yes, Pastor.
And now you are concentrating as a farmer. Who motivated you to get into farming?
The first thing I looked at were the people. There was hunger among the people. So I felt like there's a lot of water flood plains where they can grow rice, where they can grow sugar canes, a lot of things. I looked upland from the swamps. The land is flat and fertile. So what came to my mind, I looked at people, their mode of living. I think our viewers know that people from Chipata laugh at us. That people from Bangweulu are blind because we eat too much fish. See, so there was a study that why do people really in Bangweulu, there was a big number of, as compared to other areas in the country, who become blind. So there's a common belief that fish was the cause of this blindness. So when the study was carried out, we found that these people, early in the morning, their breakfast composes fish. Mid-morning breakfast is fish. Lunch is fish. Every time is fish. And they lacked vegetables in their diet.
Really?
And I think viewers, you know that vegetables, greens, they have vitamin A, which is very crucial to our sight. So that's the conclusion that was made. And people started eating vegetables and greens and all those things. Immediately, this problem of getting blind was conquered. Yes, so it was like a miracle to many people because they never knew for so many years that they believed fish was the cause of blindness. Now this is...
so it wasn't?
Not really, no. Fish is protein, but they lack vitamin A, which is found only chlorophyll, that green stuff in our plants. Yeah.
So because of that, you went into farming?
That's as we aim to educate people that farming is important. It's just eating fish. So it was a big process. It's a big process really to convince people about what they don't believe in. And working with communities is not an easy job because you have to be patient and you have to work for a long time to see the results. It takes a long time to convince a person because has lived there many years, their grandfathers, mothers have lived there many years, and this is what they believe in. Okay, so we had to be very patient indeed to educate people, and finally we're winning. And we're winning. So especially now we are talking about economy. You see, the people were killing these animals, and we wanted these animals to be protected. How do we protect them? We had to find how do they benefit. So it was education all the time. You see, we start bringing people. We put Bangweulu on the world market, going out and sell Bangweulu. We have this, we have that, we have that. And the people, of course, believe me, the people was the resource where we could tap money from. We set up what we call community centers, where people from America, Europe could come there before they even see the animals. They would like to come and learn how our people live, their cultures, and so on. So we could show them how we live, how we make holes, how we do all these kind of things that we do in Africa. We had people coming there, they could come and interview us, write books about us, and so on. So we saw Bangweulu, put Bangweulu in the world market, and things started coming. You see, the tourists, they could come. You see, if I can give you just a good example. what we call we put up some places, little houses made of grass, thatched houses. And of course, we just made it a bit comfortable by putting a mattress on there, but everything was just traditional. The door, the windows, everything was made from mats. Women were making mats, and they're making money from selling mats to the tourists. So we started doing a lot of other things that tourists that came there could buy. What is attracting them is the black lechwe. So they brought in money, and one black lechwe was costing much more than a cost of an elephant.
No.
Yes, because this is endemic. They can't find it anywhere else. Pastor, it's like when you are selling something, and then you are the only one. You've got the monopoly. You can put the price where you want. If people are buying, why not?
So were they buying those animals to take to their countries for reproduction, or what?
No, what they do, the government came up with a policy where local farmers who have set up ranches, then they could buy an animal cheaply. And my job was to go through those areas to see the kind of habitat there, if a lechwe could survive. Because they're special, and they have selective foods that they take. It's not every grass that comes that they can eat, no. So we have to go where you find these watery areas and look at the type of grass there. Is this the grass that this animal eats? Okay, then we can recommend this person can buy. Now, the price was reduced for one reason, that if a lechwe is taken to a ranch, that farmer can give back to the government when they multiply. Just in case they get wiped in the world. So it's a reserve, we're putting reserves. So these ranches are reserves for these species, just in case something happened to them in the world. Yes, so that's why they're making cheaper so that farmers can afford. But if a farmer, a hunter, or what we call visitor, or tourist comes from outside, with a view of coming to kill a black lechwe, the price was so high. That time it was costing almost $1 billion, just one little antelope. So what they do when they shoot, they kill that animal. All they do is they remove the horns and the head, and remove the skin and all the meat, and they're giving them to our local people for consumption.
They give it to local people.
Their interest was just the scar, okay, the scar and the horns and the skin. So this is dried. It was nicely done with salt and folded, and took it outside with a license. And the license was supplied by the Minister of Department of Wildlife and Services. So, so when they go to their country, then they mount it. It's mounted. But the eyes they put there are artificial, because they couldn't keep the eyes all the way for many days.
Wow.
That's the animals. I think you've visitors, viewers, I think you've been to places like hotels where you find an animal hung on the wall. Yes, those are modeled that way, because that's just the skin and the horns and the skull.
Let's come back to agriculture, Mr. Kamwenesha. Can Zambia develop to first world class as a nation through agriculture? Has it got the potential to turn this country into an industrial country?
This country, I cry, Pastor, I cry. All these years when we've been depending on mining copper and copper, okay, when we have a resource that we can use to develop this country to a big height, yes, agriculture is the way to go. Mining should just be the fourth or somewhere there to build our economy. I strongly believe agriculture is the best way to go. You see, if we look at countries. I've lived in Namibia. I've lived in South Africa. And let's compare with Zambia. Zambia, we've got all the land we need. We have all the water in the form of rivers, in form of rains. So it's a matter of tapping into this thing. If we look at Europe, even this time now, Pastor, our viewers, there was an order from the Middle East to be supplying goats. Million goats.
I heard about that.
Exactly. But why can't we organize ourselves? Because what we can be getting from these goats is a lot more than digging copper.
Really?
We talk about copper. We're not digging it ourselves. We're inviting, sorry to use the word, foreigners, our friends outside to come here and dig copper. They go and sell it there. The money remains there. And they give us very little just to come and cover for the costs of running the companies. You see, a lot of money, a chunk of the money remains out there where the copper is sold. What they bring here is just to come and pay our workers. Little money. But at one point, the mines were thinking of starting mining farms. This in Tinko Farm. But what I'm saying now, our people, let's look at agriculture as the best way to go. You can see, we have everything. We have the water. We have the ground, the land. If we can be you can be importing a papaya, pawpaw, from South Africa, which most of it is just a desert. Because they're organized. The other thing which I feel bad about is when we want to grow maize. They say we should only buy certified seed. Pana, whatever, all those companies coming into the country. There's so many now.
With this artificial?
Artificial, they say, no, this is the best. You can't plant your own maize. You can't. Believe me, I don't believe in that. Because our grandmothers, how did they used to grow their maize? Please, if you have maize, you just select those viable ones. Because surely you find our mothers and grandmothers in the villages, every time they see if it's beans, they select those good ones. Okay, they select good ones. The bad ones, they throw them away. So the good ones are the ones we can say to go and sow in our ground. Management follows.
What you are saying, Mr. Kamweneshe, I remember the then Minister of Agriculture, may still rest in peace, Honorable, what's his name? Honorable in the Kaunda time.
Oh yeah, Katana, yes.
You remember he lifted the maize. He said, we don't need this GMO.
Yes.
We need our tradition. I've got that clip somewhere where he said, if we are not careful, we are going to lose this seed. And now, Zambia and Africa, we are happy to get these chemicalized maize and everything. And if you don't have fertilizer, you don't have this, you lose. Isn't that just a mode of business?
It's a business. They're just trying to protect their business. My people, it's time we woke up and think through it. Because you see, we are getting poorer. We are talking about agriculture now. Because I can't afford to go and buy a bag of that seed. But if you have a seed from my grandmother's barn, and I select good ones, put them in the soil, manage them, you'll be surprised. I'm a good example. I'm a farmer, as already pointed out. The maize that I have at my farm, I never got them from Zam's seed.
You never got
I never did.
It's just natural?
Exactly.
Organic?
Organic. If you look at our people in Chipato keep animals, cows, that dung, cow dung. You know, we are talking about conservation farming. Conservation farming, people don't know what it means. You see, we can do it without those.
Don't say we can do it. You and I, Mr. Kamweneshe, we have chatted over this. You say we are going to do it. Yeah, you say we are going to do it because if we are going to economically liberate this nation, We need to come together as Zambians. To just go back, this side, I didn't know, somebody told me that, Pastor, you know that even the order, up to now, just for Saudi Arabia, they need about 1 million goats every month. And they are ready to provide the planes to come and get that. Surely goats, how much expenses do you incur to keep goats?
Yeah, this is the thing we are talking about. Our people, our government, if we had that will, we're a rich country, very rich indeed. If we look at countries like Korea or those countries somewhere out there, our kwacha used to be stronger than a pound, if you know,
yes.
Pastor.
Oh, yes.
Because, see, our development plan, they mention, if you look at somewhere in our development plan, there's a point where they say Zambians are docile. A lot of things, we are relaxed. And it's time we said, let's make things happen. When we stay in the compounds, Pastor, the people that are there, our brothers from this other country, from Rwanda, Burundi, who have shops. Everywhere, every corner go to any compound, anywhere, you find our brothers and sisters. That
from Rwanda, yes.
Exactly. We are Zambians, they say, Zambia, we are Zambians. And that's it. What are we doing about being Zambians? It's painful. So I felt, well, how can I contribute to this country in a small way? I've gone out there in Impika, I've been in Bala, and I found people, they couldn't grow because their base is beans. I'll give you an example, beans. But they can't grow, I mean, they grow 1 acre, this is enough. You see, but we don't think big. We are Zambians, we are independent, that's fine. So we're happy. Why should we be? This country, I was talking about donors coming. Donors, why should we be depending on donors when we can be donors as well? Through agriculture.
Mr. Kamwinesh, let's go back to this. This is where I say to the people of Zambia through Camnet TV, I want you to help me here, because I was with somebody who's keeping goats right now and making a lot of money. He found me at the hotel. He said, Pastor Chiluba, I watch Camnet TV passionately. And just these goats, if I grow these goats, I keep them. When I export there, it's going for $100. One.
Certainly, yeah.
Now, $100 you are exporting into Saudi Arabia and Dubai, all those Arab countries. If Saudi Arabia alone wants 1 million from Zambia, and we are selling one at 100, Zambia is generating $100 million just through goats. But through Zambians, we are not organized. Why, Mr. Kamwinesh? Is there anything like a disease on Zambians?
Yeah, we might go that way. I don't know. It's so difficult to understand ourselves. That's why I praise this Camnet TV. What you are doing is a great job. Slowly, slowly. Why am I here? Because of your calling. Pastor, what you are doing is a great job for this country. Please keep it up.
Thank you.
We will join you. We'll go out there and spread the news. That Camnet is doing a good job. Please let's join hands and we turn this economy of this country around by agriculture. It won't take years, believe me. If we had to work for 3-4 years, this country will be different. If we came together and put our hands together and concentrate on the soil. The people in Kenya, these Swahili people said, Dongo ni mali, means soil, that's money.
Dongo?
Dongo ni mali.
Ni mali.
Yeah, meaning the soil is the richness, that's money. If you remember, Kapwepwe said, we Zambians, when we find grass just growing, you say, this is grass. But somebody from outside, they will say, this is money. This is it we understand. If we look at our farms, when we want to getting ready to harvest, what happens? We set the grass on fire. You see, don't realize. Because what happens, for example, if you put maize, you put fertilizer, the fertilizer will take up that fertilizer into its body and it gives you a cob. The remaining part of that plant is holding on to the fertilizer. So if you burn it, this fertilizer is gone. But if you put it back into the soil, you don't even need a lot of fertilizer. For 3-4 years, you don't need fertilizer. But there will be enough fertilizer in that soil.
Really?
From the same plant. Just remember, that's why it looks so green and nice, because it's taking up the nutrients.
I was with Professor Reda. We were driving somewhere to some farms. We stop, and the grass is that tall, Mr. Kamweneche. So he says, Pastor Chu, have you seen how green this grass is? I said, yeah. Then he says, who applies fertilizer for it to grow like this?
Yes, that's true.
It's the first time I thought about it, and he says, look, you don't need fertilizer. One, Zambia is losing money by importing a lot of fertilizer because we have gone artificial. And like you are saying, if I grow 5 hectares, after I harvest, I bury everything in there.
Yes.
Next season, I don't need the fertilizer.
Yeah, Pastor, we have a gentleman I've engaged. Yeah, so the viewers who are seeing us, you get my number, then we can meet, because this gentleman, we're going around in the villages, especially around Lusaka, and we are educating them how to make compost from grass on their own land. Believe me, it takes 27 days to have beautiful compost.
27 days?
27 days. All we do is just cut the grass, and pile it up. Okay? And we wait for 27 days. You'll be surprised that same thing when it rots, that compost rots. And we set up, okay, what we're talking about, not very huge farm, of course, not, but a sizable kind of size of land. Your maize, you'll be surprised.
Green.
Green. Because as we are saying, the grass is holding on to the nutrients. So when we compost it and come and put on all those points where we put our seed, you'll be surprised what kind of maize you're going to get. Okay?
This is where it pains, Mr. Kamweneche. Dear Camnet TV viewers, here is a Zambian, very passionate about our country. Very educated with his first degree, master's degree, whatever, and he's there sitting, and you are waiting for the government to import fertilizer when you can ask this man and the team that we are working with, we come and visit your farm and change your life completely. And I keep on saying, Mr. Kamweneche, just the day before yesterday, I received a phone call that, you know, Pastor Chiluba, as you always say on Camnet,
yes,
Zambia 5 years from now, the land will be in the hands of foreigners. They are buying this land like no man's business. And in the meantime, Zambians are just roaming in town.
Exactly.
Why?
Yeah. Yeah. This is the attitude we have, and we need to change it quickly. Okay? I just wish that one day people just come to realize we're going the wrong direction. As I gave an example of people having shops in the compounds, the foreigners. What are we doing about it? If you look at farms, dear viewers, there are a lot of people coming into this country masquerading as farmers. They're carrying out what they call outgrower schemes. So what they would do, they'll tell you, anyone with this kind of land, this extent of land, then we are going to work with you. I will link you to the markets outside. And people get excited. Oh, market outside. Believe me, we have a lot of market within the country. Before we even think about outside, there's a huge market in this country. For example, I'll talk about it, I'm growing papayas.
You told me you have about 25,000
stands.
Trees?
Yes.
Yeah, of papaya.
Yes. So we supplying ShopRite, Pick and Pay, Food Lovers, Choppies. But my first market is the woman on the street. Yeah, I go around. I go to, you see women selling things by the roadside. So those are the things I say, if I help this poor woman, I will do a better job than taking to ShopRite. Yeah, so that's my first market. Okay.
And those 25,000 trees are not even enough for the market.
No, they're not. Believe me, to supply, for example, let me just give an example of Pick and Pay. How many shops do they have in Lusaka? Kitwe, Lusaka, everywhere. So when you bring trucks and trucks and trucks, just at the sea. So there's huge market again in our neighboring countries. You see, a papaya cannot actually grow well because these are tropical plants. Yeah, if you look at mango, papaya, you've got avocados. These are tropical plants. We are lucky. Zambia used to be called a landlocked country. We used to feel it was an insult. Now when learning our geography, that Zambia is a landlocked country, we used to feel bad about it. But now it's time we have changed that now. We are saying Zambia is a land-linked.
Yeah.
And being land-linked, and imagine you can do business every corner around you. We are lucky. So that's what we are saying, Pastor. If we can wake up and realize the potential we have, the greatness we have for this country.
Sorry to say this, Mr. Kamweneshe. You know, my passion for this nation has driven me to find out means and ways how we can bring every dollar in this country. When I was in Europe, I just learned, actually, just out of curiosity, that there is no plane that can fly into the London or UK airspace without paying. I didn't know that there is traffic.
Yes.
Traffic charge there to just overfly the country.
Yes.
And I come back here. So when I asked, I said, you mean every plane flying you pay? He says, yes. That's why there is IATA, there is this, there is that. I came back embarrassingly to say this. I asked one of the government officials many years ago, I said, how much do we get from air traffic? He says, no, we don't.
And we have a lot.
We don't generate the funds. Now, can you imagine how many planes fly from South Africa into Europe, back?
Yes.
Those that crisscross. At that time, many years ago, we were not getting a dollar. It pained me so much. I said, who is behind this? Now, we are looking at agriculture, Mr. Kamweneshe. If a Zambian, every Zambian of us, 17 million Zambians, we say we own 1 hectare of land and come together, Chitukuko, you know, we work together. 100 families, we have this farm and we work there. 100 families, can't we benefit from 100 hectares of land?
Pastor, I may give another example. If you look at Kenya, they don't have mines.
They don't have mines.
For those viewers who've been through Kenya, Jomo Kenyatta Airport, you see every minute there are planes flying out. The others are landing. You wonder what they're carrying. They only carry rose flowers to go to Europe.
I was told that, yeah.
Yes. Every single minute, I can exaggerate, there are planes landing, others are taking off into Europe. What are they carrying? Let's look at the economy of Kenya. Nothing, no mines. Let's look at the economy of Malawi. They do tea big time. All the land we have in this country. You hear about Kawambwa tea. That tea was loved so much by Europe.
Yeah.
So there was even big demand that they had a very big order throughout the year, just like we are talking about goats. We're supposed to be supplying our Kawambwa tea to Europe. Okay, especially Russia. They loved our tea so much. But did we manage? What are we saying? We are talking about, we see a dollar coming, and we sit back. Please, each time, let's pick a leaf from Kenya, who depends on rose flowers. Look at Malawi. It's a small country, very small indeed. But you'll find the tea that they export. Put some up. Look at the land we have. Pastor, Zambia is huge. A lot of land that's goes unused.
Oh, Jehovah.
Unused. So here's the situation. What do we do? What do we do? We can't depend on mining. Agriculture. We can bring in a lot. If you look at mango, we have Jews coming from Europe, and we go in the shop and buy. This is from...
Even Tanzania. I bought some mango juice from Tanzania and Kenya. They are in my fridge now.
What are we doing? What are we doing about it? You can see, we can be the biggest exporter of these things we are talking about. We don't need to import. It's not true. It's not right. Please, we're asking the government. We work together. Let's find a mode of way of doing things so that this country can benefit from agriculture. Because agriculture is the way to go. Mining, all this copper is finishing up. Yeah, they're selling a mine to this country, this company. They come here, they do it. Well, that's a joke. I've been depending for a long, long time. It's time even the government can come in and pave land everywhere, and we have even national farms or things like that. I remember some time back there was what they're calling green whatever, winter maize. We have the water. We don't have to depend on the rain all the time. So that project that started in the Chao, I don't know what came of it. It was a huge project that could lift us.
There is a man, sorry Mr. Kamweneshe, a man spoke to me in the bank. Then he says, Pastor Chula, I like your drive for agriculture.
Yeah.
I've got 5 kilometers of land this way and about 8 kilometers of land this way. I said, is it on title? He says, yes. I said, what is it for? He says, they are emeralds. They are emeralds, and I've been waiting for investors.
Yeah.
5 kilometers this way, 8 kilometers this way.
Wow.
And I said, do you know how many years have you had this? He says, we've had it for the past 17 years.
And waiting for the investor.
Waiting for the investors. I said to him, do you realize that on top of the minerals, you can still make money more than what you can make from the emeralds?
Surely, yeah.
5 kilometers, Mr. Kamweneshe. 8 kilometers this way. If you opened that, do you need to be struggling with the emeralds down there?
And wait.
Huh?
Yeah. So, Pastor, one thing we talked about mining and so on. Now we are saying we talked about maize, we have to buy certified seed. Here we are. Pastor, everybody knows now. We've written, in fact, we have to rewrite books. Because the books that we read, they say, no, apple cannot grow in Zambia. You see, we have believed that. Now we are saying, no, it's not true.
Talk to me about the apples. You talked about that.
Yes.
Some days back.
It's been my dream when I look at things coming from outside, and we've got all this land, we've got the water. My research has been, I said, okay, maybe I can contribute to this country. How can these things grow? Because we are taught to believe that they can only grow outside and not here. So I visited in Pika not too long ago. I was told there's a man who grows apples. I was so interested.
A Zambian?
Zambian. A poor man. So I wonder where he came from, where he got them from. So when I got there, you know, when you go to Mpika and going up, there's a place called Danger Hill. That place is very cool in Chief Chikwanda. And so many areas like that. So the apples I found, Pastor, they were bigger than the apples we get from south.
No.
I tested, these apples were beautiful, beautiful.
Really?
Then I talked to this man. He's in town looking for piecework. He's left that farm to the old parents, mother and father. They are very old, they can't even hold a hoe. So, but he's busy looking for piecework in town. When I looked at it, I said, why don't you take him to town? He said, I don't have transport. I offered transport. We picked 3 bags of apples. The time we got to Mpika town, at the marketplace, before long, these apples were gone. And this gentleman made it.
In less than a day?
Exactly, made 1,500. I'm not joking. I said, why? He says, no, because I don't have transport. Why don't you extend your farm? The farm is huge, but there are only 10 trees.
10 trees?
10 trees. Do you know how to propagate them? Anyway, he didn't have that knowledge. Because the person planted for him left, and that's, he didn't bother to know how he could propagate more. So that's when I came in. These are things that we need, CAMNET. If we can have training sessions. Farmers can come, those who are interested. If we are interested in papaya, growing papaya, we are growing apples, all these kind of different types of fruits. So that could add a lot of value so that people can start waking up.
But I told you we are having a national conference. The President of the Republic of Zambia, Dr. Edgar Chagwa Lungu, is very interested in this.
Good one, yeah.
Very interested. And let me tell you something. When you and I sit here, I am not a farmer, I'm a pastor.
Yes, you.
But I've started developing interest in farming just by the grace of God. Maybe this week I'll be on the Copper Belt somewhere visiting a farm that somebody said I can start growing there, you know. But look at this church, how big it is. Mr. Kamweneshe, this is a 5,000 seater.
Yeah.
And it's huge. It's got these offices. And we depend on the offering. We have to wait to buy towels, we have to wait to buy, but having realized all I need is a piece of land.
Sure.
Call you, Mr. Kamweneshe, come and show me how to grow apples. I'll be selling them myself.
Yeah.
Who is going to accuse me that the pastor has left the pulpit selling when I'm feeding the people?
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah.
So this is the pain, Mr. Kamweneshe. You talked about apples. Grapes also can grow.
Of course, sure. The same environment, yeah. Yeah. Surely, because we have to understand that majorly these apples need cool areas, not very hot. Yeah. So we have a lot of such pieces of land in this country which can accept that kind of.
Even in Mwinilunga, that area.
Yes, yeah, Serenge. I've got a pastor Simunyola, just like the great job we are doing. He contacted me. Anyway, he wrote a book because, as I said, I'm a publisher. He was looking for a publisher to publish his book. So while we are doing his book, a great book, we started talking about agriculture, like what you are saying. So I told him about this. This man got so excited, so excited. I've told him, I've shown his people how to do grafting. Because if you look at the avocado pear, it takes 5-6 years to start flowering. What we are saying now, we can't wait that long.
We can't.
That's why people don't like it. So what we do now, we graft them. Yes, where with this same year, they'll start giving us flower.
Same year?
Yes, we may just say, okay, fine, this first flowers may abort because the tree is not strong, the plant. So we give it another year. Maybe second year, you have a very big avocado.
So in 3 years, you can grow?
Of course, sure. Yes.
And start picking fruit?
Yes, you can. Well, that as you see, the plant is not yet strong enough to get up there. Yeah. So what we do is that you can even, protect them with trees and so on. But the issue we're talking about to start producing flower very, very early than waiting for 5-6 years. Then we have another way of doing things. For example, I've got a very good avocado, which is very, very good people like. How will I get this same one, the baby to be like this one? When we get a seed from this good papaya avocado, we don't expect to have the same like the mother. So what we do, we clone. Is cloning. You hear about people talking about cloning people. To produce this one should be exactly like twin sisters or twin brothers.
Same test.
Exactly. Everything will be the same when you clone. Because the same material. And that one doesn't take long than planting a seed. That one, when you clone, the time is coming from your pot. It's already old. And you start giving you flowers.
You know, Mr. Kamweneshe, I like avocado. It's one of my favorite foods.
You do.
Even now they are in the house.
Oh,
I
okay.
like that. You see, at this church, we have planted about 6 trees because I believe that one day I should stop buying. I go to buy, you find it's 50 kwacha, one fruit right here. So I am in Houston, Texas, in America. On the menu, I see avocado. I ordered one. $5.
Yes, that's very
$5.
Yeah.
When this avocado came, I was so disappointed. I was almost rejecting it to say, you guys are stealing. It was half, and very small, like a phone. And they put it there. I said, excuse me, I ordered avocado. They said, sir, that's
That's the one.
I said, how much is this? They said $5. I said, you guys are criminals. Where I come from, I can buy
A big one. Yeah.
What I'm saying is, because of that, when I got into New York, I want to mention the name. There is one Zambian here. We are on TV. There is one Zambian in the 3rd Street in New York. You know, he became one of rich guys by just sending avocado into New York. Yes.
Yeah.
Every plane would take the fruits there. Now I'm told in Europe there is shortage of flowers. You know, our friends, they like flowers, unlike us from Chinsali. When they buy something, a bouquet of flowers, what?
Yes.
Israel cannot cope with flowers, rose flower.
Exactly.
So are you telling me we can't grow rose flower here?
That's the question.
And Kenya, I'm told, is getting billions of dollars
Yes, they do.
through agriculture.
As I
Rose
mentioned.
flowers and what? Jehovah.
They are you. Those guys, they export rose flowers big time. Pastor, as I said, planes land day and night to take flowers to Europe. They're comfortable. You don't care about mine. What's mine? Just the soil here. Renewable.
I was speaking to a certain Jew not too long ago in Israel, called him. Then he says, Pastor, I've heard about your land. Then he talked about a certain type of groundnuts which can grow in Zambia. He says, you are talking about castor
oil.
Castor oil.
Yeah.
And you are talking about this. He says, Pastor, get this land, do this, I'll bring you this seed for groundnuts. It is diamond. You get it for millions.
Yes.
Then he says, why isn't Zambia generating the money with such vast land? That's the question he asked me. Why isn't Zambia generating money? And we are borrowing.
Yeah. Now, that Pastor, you mentioned castor oil. It's a big industry in Europe and America. If you can grow castor, you know the castor oil we have, but there's certain variety which we've tried in Zambia. There's a friend of mine. She's at the airport. I think China behind there. Yeah, she ordered the same type of seed they want from Tanzania. Yes, and we're working on that project. We would like to have so many people, so because supply will be huge. Because castor oil is a special oil that's even used in aviation. You can imagine America, aviation, because it can't grow there. Tanzania is doing it.
There is a certain Zambian who has imported from Brazil and also from India, a special type which in the future we'll be talking about. And that's the one the Americans are interested in, that crop.
Exactly.
So my mind, Mr. Kamweneshe, is it's tortured. I sleep late at night. My wife sometimes, she says, you switch off the phone because I'm looking at this, and here is a nation which has borrowed so much.
Exactly.
And people blaming the government, people blaming the president. In the meantime, as Zambians, we are not doing anything about
Ourselves, yes.
We're just blaming.
We are just good at blaming others for our own mistakes. Or I don't know. So it's not a good thing. I mean, what we should learn in this life is that we look at ourselves first. What am I contributing? What I'm talking about. Here we are. Instead of saying everything we hear, the government is what, everything is government. I'm talking to my people. The way maybe you mentioned it, that I'm standing as an MP, Member of Parliament for Fuwe constituency. I'm preaching to them. You don't expect the government to come and sweep your yard. What we need here, Pastor, is that somebody wants to sweep the development. Everything should wait for the government. If you want to sweep your yard and you don't have a broom, maybe you can't afford it or whatever, then as a government, you say, okay, we'll give you a broom. Now go and sweep. We work together. We are partners. Okay? Rather than everything, no matter how small. A bridge is bent by fire, they saw the government to come and fix it. We stand up and do it.
I was telling you when you mentioned that you are going to stand as a member of parliament from Fue. I said to myself, blessed will be your constituency.
Thank you.
Because you have land there.
Yes.
10, 15 people can transform Mfue. And that airport, many Zambians can be flying there instead of going beyond 7 attraction over
Now, Pastor, we are not talking about that. Mfue is different, but we are in Serenje.
Not this Mfue.
That's what they just called Mfue, because you see there was that Bill 10. It's supposed to be called Lavushmanda. Yes, now because the Bill 10 could go through. So it remains as Mfue. Because my constituency jumps in Pika, goes along those hills.
Is that so?
So not Mfue there, but towards the Luangwa River. That's where it starts from, and it goes into Lake Banweul. The swamps.
But all the same, I'm saying you are going there with a purpose.
Yes.
To educate the people in the constituency to say, let's transform this.
Yeah.
You know. So tell me, Camnet TV, by the grace of God, and those of you watching have been expectant. Pastor, when is the conference? When is the conference? Let me tell you, this conference, the reason why we haven't come up with a date to now, we have engaged several government wings. We have engaged the leadership of this nation.
Beautiful, wonderful.
We have also engaged other experts from outside the country, the professors who want to share how we can turn this economy within 3 years. One professor said, Pastor, if the Zambians come together, 3 years, if Zambia won't get out of debt, then my studies are in vain. Because looking at the vast land that we have, all we have to do, Mr. Kamwenesha, is to apply ourselves to it. Now, how can we invite the Zambians? How can we, I know Camnet is just one channel. How can we bring the people together and say, guys, men and women, let's take off our suits. We are going to put on the gumboots. Let's till the land. How can we do that, Mr. Kamwenesha?
Pastor, the job we've started, you know, everything starts with one step. So far, you're doing a great job. People are listening to us on this channel. Those with the blessings from God. They wake up and say, this says follow. Then with our government also, I'm just praying that I'm adopted to do this thing and go and work with my people. Before I'm even adopted, in my constituency, we have formed more than 35 cooperatives. 35. These are people we want to lead to the market. These are the people who want to give the seed, all the requirements to do the farming that we are talking about. So women are growing groundnuts, people are growing. I think you know this Komako in Eastern Province. Komako, there's a gentleman, quickly, he came from America. He was working under me as a wildlife scout, American. So when he went with my wife, because my wife is also a biologist,
Really?
by the way, she's the one running the Lake Tanganyika Development Project.
Wow.
They're doing this same thing, agriculture, and so on. Yes, she comes on TV almost every Monday. Yes. So they're doing a great job. We realize this Mzungu, so to call him that way, was a good friend of mine. And he stayed in my house. Then he went to work in the Luangwa. They looked at the poverty, as we are saying, of women and men in those areas. And he said, wow, he was a wildlife scout. Okay? Then he went back to America. Then he came back on his own. to come and set up these projects. If you talk about Eastern Province, they know Komako. If you're a pastor, I think, dear viewers, if you go to any shop in this country, go to Malawi, you'll find peanut butter, everything, this, that, mushroom, dried mushroom, all kinds of things, dried mangoes. You will find, please take care or take time to look at the shelves. You will find these products, beans, no chama rice, no chama rice. That's the one I'm talking about. That's a product of that gentleman.
Really?
It's called It's Wild. It's called wings, I mean the ears of an elephant.
Yeah.
You find maybe even here in your house you have it. It's the works of that man.
So he started slowly?
Slowly he came there, brought women together, please grow granules, so we'll be buying from you. Grow mangoes, grow that, I'll be getting from you. He empowered them big time. So he did a lot of them. These people are no longer the same. My Mboyas, the Tumbukas, they reach a lot. And they were there before this band came. If you look what way can you find chama rice, that's the gentleman behind that. So he's moved now across the Muchinga escarpment. That was in Mpika. He's in Muchinga.
And making a lot of money?
Making a lot of money, Pastor. This is what we are saying. If we can have people like this, you know, it's empowering people. People are getting better than they were because of this gentleman. So this is what I've taken up as well. That board is very, very, very good. I've gone to my constituency and I've organized a lot of farmers. They've got cooperatives. Having cooperatives, we are getting more organized because if the government was to help, it's difficult for the government to stand up and help an individual. But when you are together, they know these are organized people.
You haven't answered the question, Mr. Kamwenes. How are we going to convince every Zambian to say, look, all these shops now, water, drinks you are buying from Rwandese, they've taken over the market for the groceries. Here you are as a Zambian, please do something. How are we going to?
The best thing is the conferences you are holding, Pastor. You know, a person has to be taught. You know, sometimes you sleep.
Absolutely.
Because you don't know how other people live. Now, this great program you brought to us will teach us a lot. The conferences you are holding out there. So I'll be happy that we maybe smaller groups, the people, the team we have, to talk about what you're talking about. People realize. Sorry to use this sentence. When I got to my constituency, when I lived there for 14 years, I was wondering, I said, why don't you make pit latrines? I said, well, no, the snakes can bite you the bottom. That's our fear. You see, it took me a long, long time to convince them that they can start down digging their own pit. So we as Zambians, we realize where we are. We realize where we're coming from. So we are saying now, why don't you make a change? Because we learn. People are coming here. They're teaching us things. What if it's that person from a war-torn Rwanda can manage a shop, can manage a farm? What's wrong with me? We can easily convince them. But as I said, dealing with communities, it takes a long time. We have to be patient.
There is a person that I know here. I had the privilege of chatting with them. They're making about £5,000 every month from the toilet fecal matter.
Yeah.
Because now they've found a way. They are building these mobile toilets.
Yeah.
And you know about it.
Yeah, sure.
It's a big project.
Yes.
If you go in the villages, even here in Kanyama, they've started and say, just call the people, please use these toilets. They have nice, everything.
Yes.
And they are making money. Here's somebody saying, I can't go more business here, but somebody is making £5,000 per month. And Zambians, we don't know that. When he told me that, Pastor, in South Africa, people are hoping to make these toilets, and they are making money. They go per market, Rumumba market, plant one, use this, very clean. They come and take the stuff and generate it. Now, I'm saying, surely, here in Zambia, Jehovah, how will we convince the Zambians that we can make it? You know, this is the other pain and headache I have.
Yeah, as I said, you just have to convince people, train them. Someday, few realize. Like I did one example. I put up this outgrower scheme. Then I had 50 members who joined. They paid 50. Don't you see, to be a member, you have to pay 50 kwacha. I know we will increase as we go. So you grow beans. And they paid. They opened an account. What happened? Then I delayed to give them a seed, because it was coming from Mukushi to go to Mbala. I did have proper transport. These people just said, no, chairman, can you give us the money? We want to go and drink. Because you are wasting our time, you know. Why should you hold on to my money? You know what happened? Oh, good God. The day they got their money, they went away. Following day, they were just walking along the road. They saw a big truck coming, loaded with the same seed they were waiting for.
Beans.
Beans. You see, they had taken their money. Then the chairman said, no, please, these people, they want to come back. He said, no. I said, no, they're gone. We want strong people who can have a strong heart to wait. Things don't just come so easy, because we as Zambians, it's another thing we have. We want to eat today.
Quick money.
We want to eat today, not tomorrow. That's the issue we have. So slowly, Pastor, as you were the shepherd here, or we all come into this church, we are turning. Because I was somebody else yesterday. I attended your church. I walked through this church a different person. I continue coming, but at the end of the year, I'm a different person together. Yes, the same thing. We need to educate our people. Let's find the means of educating as many people as we can. We will train trainers.
In every industry, Mr. Kamweneshe, there are bogus people.
Yeah.
And on sitting on Camnet, my wife and I received text messages how people are being swindled through these conmen, cooperatives, and foreigners know that Zambians are a bit on the downside in terms of we believe anything, and anybody who comes, we don't tend to think through. Have you had the experiences of conning people in this industry of agriculture?
Believe me, I have, certainly. Yes, I have. You know, people are coming here taking advantage of what we are. So I've had 3 experiences. And these people are using the social media.
Social media?
Social media, mostly. So they can reach many people, to do their work, which is not really nice. So they will tell you, please, if you have so many hectares of land or anything, we would like to give you the inputs. We'll give you the fencing. We'll give you everything. They will talk about good things. When you talk about a partner working with you and bringing, you know, you don't have anything. You say quickly, yes. So when they turn around again the next page, they say, to join us, you have to pay so much money. Believe me, dear viewers, we have to be very, very careful. We have to scrutinize this.
To belong to this association,
exactly. You have to make sure that you are dealing with a proper and authentic grouping or whatever. Because they're a group. They will tell you good things. They'll write good language so that you're convinced this is the time now. I should be able to wake up from my poverty. Let me go quickly. As I said with Zambians, we rush. We have to watch your jump before you land.
You know, I'm very grateful. My wife and I, whatever we do, Mr. Kamweneshe, we do it through Camnet. Yes. If we don't announce it, if it's not coming through Camnet, you don't have to associate me with what is going on, because it is very easy to break the name that somebody has built.
Exactly.
Or, you know, right now, we have the confidence of the president and the Zambia Farmers Union. Mr. Zimba, the president there. I was so amazed, and it takes boldness for Zambia Farmers Union to say, there will be no importation of onions.
Onions.
And I didn't know we were losing 50 million kwacha to just import onion from South Africa. But when you are driving going to Chongwe, Silverest, you see onions. When you are going to Kabwe, Katuba there, you see onions. Why do we have to import such things?
That's the question. You see, we have a slight problem in this country. The government it plays its part. Okay? You see, for example, Pick n Pay comes to this country. They are for business. Now, we tell we Zambians, can you grow papaya and supply into Pick n Pay or shops? Friday, they call us. Please, can you supply papaya? We don't have. And these guys are in business. They don't want their shelves to be empty.
They want papaya.
Exactly. So we Zambians, this time we've got this opportunity. We team up, produce, suffice the market. So these people never cry. We went to South Africa to order these papayas because Zambians couldn't supply. So this is what we are saying, Pastor. If we can come together, we have all these cooperatives. Say, okay, this cooperative will be growing papaya and supply to this local market before we get outside this market.
The Zambian ambassador into Saudi Arabia is my cousin.
Okay.
It is amazing when he's telling you of the business opportunities just in Saudi Arabia. And Zambians, we are here crying for money.
Yeah.
Crying for, it's so painful. And Mr. Kamwene, people like me, when I talk, it is very easy for somebody to say, he has been bought. He's campaigning for Chagwa.
Yes.
He's campaigning for this. But truth be told,
yes,
by the blessings of God, my wife and I, when we started this television, we just started it by faith. We didn't go to the government to say this. The government didn't even give us money. It hasn't given us money. The government gave us a license, enabling environment.
Exactly.
Here we are, reaching many people today because we had this determination. So why should I blame the government for not starting a TV? Why should I blame the government for not starting a farm?
Exactly.
You go to the chief in Solwezi, my chief Mumena there, you go to chief in Shima there, you go to Chinsali, just ask for land. The problem is, Chinsali is too far. But somebody is moving from Benjin to Uko, beyond the Chinsali.
Yeah.
In Nakonde, and is making money, supplying to Zambians. Mr. Kamwene,
We are not cased.
Huh?
We need to change this attitude.
We are not
We are not.
mindset.
Yeah, mindset.
Mindset.
So, your great works, you are doing things. Even having me here, you should not see the result of your hard work.
No, because you are a blessing. When my son Chongo said, he kept on saying, Pastor, you must meet Mr. Kamwene. Yes. Meet him. And you remember when we chatted, I said, what are you doing there? The nation needs you.
Yeah.
And also, I want to speak to the government officials, those of you watching, permanent secretaries, or directors, please, don't just get comforted in sitting in those pajeros with flags going at our minister. Mobilize the people for this nation. Put us together. I was speaking to Honorable Minister Yaluma. We were chatting in his house some 2 months ago. I said, sir, we need to get, as Minister of Commerce, we need planes here. You know what he said? He said, Pastor, when we get organized as Zambians, the government will be able to ask the planes to be coming here to pick fruits. Exactly. As you are saying, yes. That's a job of the government. Me, I can't go to England, I can't go to this and say bring planes. But the government will just pick up the phone and say we have flowers here, and the planes will be landing.
Exactly.
But Zambians, I don't know, it's like you said, it's just mindset.
Yeah. I mentioned, if you look at our neighboring countries, I lived in Namibia for 10 years. You can't find beans. You can't find this and that and that and that. What a huge market we have.
And I'm told the beans is in demand in Namibia.
Exactly.
And Botswana.
Yeah, Botswana, of course. These are the things I'm talking about. Look at Botswana. They are set up. It's a desert mostly. You see? So I had a good meeting with a gentleman. He's from Zimbabwe. He posted these things on social media that he makes 10,000 kwacha from this piece of land. 10,000 kwacha from Chibwabwa. 10,000 kwacha weekly.
From Chibwabwa.
Then I said, wait a minute, he's cheating.
No.
I said, this guy is a cheat. Then I had an opportunity. I called into my office, we met, and said, please, I'm interested to learn from you. How do you manage? He started telling the story. Chibwabwa, I pile up, take it to shop, I pick up a full up and chop it. That's what you're getting. The remaining, we chop it up, dry in the sun, and package it nicely to go into Johannesburg, to go into London.
No.
Huge market. Huge market.
10,000 every week.
He said.
And a small piece of land.
He said it. I went to visit it. I was so impressed. Pastor, here I am. The past 2 weeks, I'm putting Chibwabwa in the ground. I've got about 2 hectares now. I'm still going. And I've proved it now. If you look at this time, now there's no rain season is gone. There's no Chibwabwa on the market. You see, so few people do that. So if you take it up, what an opportunity. Then the other thing I've learned, why don't we have, most of the markets don't have onions now. You don't have. And if you find a piece of onion, a bulb of onion, it's so expensive, we're not affording. Reason being, people don't grow onion during the season, the rain season.
And also the government stopped the importation of
Exactly. So when we end there, we find the rain season goes, there's no onion. So now, viewers, there's a way to do it. There's a way to do it, special way, because why? People fail to grow, most people fail to grow onion during the rain season. Now there's a very simple way of doing it. Very simple indeed.
So will you educate the people during the conference?
Yes, I will.
How to do that?
Yes.
Because Professor Reda also said, Pastor Chiluba, he says he doesn't understand why somebody will keep the land idle and say, I'm waiting for the rain season.
Exactly. That ground must be productive through and through. Yeah.
That's what he said.
Yeah, that's what
He said you can get money from January to December. You don't have to wait and say, I'm waiting for the rain season.
No.
You are losing on money.
Exactly. That tradition of doing things where we had to wait for the rains must go.
Oh, let's take a break, Mr. Kamweneshe. You know, we have a lot of, Camnet TV is a family in Zambia of people who were born for greatness. I know some people are itching to send their phone calls. They are itching to send their messages, ask you and all this. I have just come to discover with my wife that they are serious-minded people in Zambia.
Yes.
Very serious.
Sure.
All they need is information.
Exactly.
And most of the people will tell you, Pastor Chiluba, we watch Camnet passionately. One lady, Cynthia, I know she's watching, she called and sent a text from Canada and said, what are we people going to do in the diaspora? How do we get involved?
Yeah.
And someone from India, we are watching Camnet. What are we going to do? My heart is going like, Lord, give us the people.
Yeah.
Give us the people.
Yeah.
Those who watch Camnet like you.
Yes.
That we mobilize ourselves.
Yeah.
We come together as a family.
Sure. That's what we need. And we can make it. Together we can make it.
We will make
Yeah,
it.
sure.
Mr. Director, we go just on a brief break, and Camnet TV viewers, listen, you were born for greatness. Stop looking for employment. Stop looking for a job. You have a degree, you have a master's degree, and for 5 years, Mr. Kamweneshe, somebody is looking for a job.
No.
Can't you just find a piece of land?
Believe me. That's
Why do we want to say I'm a graduate? I've got a master's. Here you are a biologist. You are 25,000 trees of avocado. Now you are into Chihuahua. You are into other things like what?
Shellfish.
You are into fish farming. How big are your...
We've got 5 fish ponds, which is 60 by 40.
60 by 40.
Yeah.
So...
Each one is taking about 13,000.
13,000. So would you rather go and work as an MD somewhere?
What for? No, I'll leave it. I'll create employment.
I'm telling you. Dear Camnet TV viewers, we'll get back to you. Remember, you were born for greatness. Keep watching this station because Zambia is at another level, and I believe that in 3 years' time, God be with us. All of you out there and all of us here, we will make a difference to this nation. May God bless you.
2021 has been described as a highly politically charged year. This is because every 5 years the country goes to the polls, and that 5 years elapses with only a few months remaining down to the ballot. The battlefield to appear on the ballot is becoming fertile. A lot of people are expressing interest of appearing on the ballot.
In all this, our interest is to put the duty bearers, the leaders, and those aspiring to task by asking the relevant questions.
If you're an aspiring candidate, be it councillor, mayor, or member of parliament, get in touch with us to get yourself on the verdict.
We go beyond speculation in dealing with policy and governance issues. The right questions are asked to help you make a verdict.
For more details, you can call us on 0962 965883, 0979 753010, or email us info@camnettvafrica.com. Terms and conditions apply.
Join us on Camnet TV
every Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday at 17:45 hours
on a new program dubbed The Verdict.
Remember that Camnet TV is not just another channel.
Hello, I'm Deborah Lukalu, all the way from South Africa. You are watching Camnet Channel, not just another channel. God bless you. Stay tuned.
We celebrate for all you've done. We give you all the praise. Oh, we testify. We celebrate for all you've done. We give you all the praise.
This is Camnet TV World News. For a prompt response, call +2609 53 995 099 or +2609 62 444 726 or +2609 711 77467. Camnet TV, not just another channel.
Dear Camnet TV viewers, wherever you are watching us from, this is an educative program and very practical, down to earth. I want to call upon all the pastors, all the reverends, please, as churches, let's get involved. I've been so privileged. The Lusaka Pastors Fellowship Chairperson, Pastor Christopher Kawunda, has invited me. Tomorrow we'll be meeting together as Lusaka Pastors Fellowship. These are some of the matters that I hope that all of us pastors should come together. Time for us just waiting for tithes and offerings should be a thing of the past. I'm not saying that don't tell people to tithe, because that's how God blesses them. But I'm saying, let's work. And you know the good thing, Mr. Kamwenesh, God says in His word, I will bless the labor of your hands. Now there are two things there involved. There is labor and the hands. If you don't want to be a laborer, you are not going to just one handout.
Exactly.
You know? Mr. Director, please open up the phones and the text messages. Let them start rolling in. Those of you that have been waiting and you want to ask questions and you believe that you were born for greatness. I want you to know that Zambia, we are not a mistake. And what a country, Mr. Kamweneshe. Can you imagine God gives us all the seasons that can be found in Europe, that can be found in Africa, that can, all the seasons. This is how blessed we are.
We are blessed. Indeed. Indeed.
Oh, Jehovah. I want to appeal to you, Mr. Kamweneshe. What would you say to these young boys and girls who are completing grade 12, maybe university, and they are waiting for jobs? Would you encourage them to go through farming?
Indeed, yeah, sure. We don't just have to wait for the white-collar job. You see, as I said, I still insist that farming is the way to go. Yes, if you feel like you are educated, put your education into agriculture because you understand things better. Like I'm saying, I went to school. I'm able to do things. I see a disease, a plant is sick. I use my education background to solve a problem. So we are problem solvers. As you see, we are born to be, you know, what we should be. Okay? So young people should not just be taught. You know, people tend to say, okay, you go to school, you learn, then you're going to find a good job. That's not the way we should tell our children. Okay, we learn if I go to school to solve problems. Okay, any problem. If you decide to go to be a fisherman, you should be able to solve the problem. What is happening? Why this? Why that? So education is actually there not to give us an opportunity to find the greatest job we can think of, but we can solve a lot of problems.
Because like you said, Mr. Kamweneshe, I am so blessed. Somebody with a small piece of land growing in Chibwabwa, there isn't much involved.
Exactly.
And he's making 10,000 kwacha per month. I mean, per week. That is in a month, that's 40,000.
Exactly.
Which job can give a graduate that amount?
Exactly. That's what you should understand.
And if the man extends his field, you find that you'll be getting over 100,000 per month, per week.
The next millionaire is a farmer.
The next millionaire.
Exactly.
And I'm hearing that all the time. The people saying, Pastor, mark our words.
Yes.
The next billionaire will come from farming and the technology.
Corona or no corona, we eat.
Oh, hello, good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Yes, good evening. Good evening, sir.
What's your name and where are you calling us from? Bachiluba.
From Ilabumbwe.
Bachiluba.
Yes, quiet.
Twayamba okufula shani.
Yes, quiet.
Nabalande mugwayi Bachiluba. Please talk to the nation.
I will in program with Kuba. Yes, sir, we get into things that.
Mkwai.
Now, moving down. In the most smile. Papa. Anything that will move in the morning.
Well done.
If you for example, you want to say, what type of advice? Because now, one thing that.
Sure, ka?
So for you to be in the room, moving me. And you think that we are a professor of commodity. I never see them. But what I want to offer with that way is to show them. That is their context. So that is the idea. You see, because we is not one, I will be water. It's better. So, you know, I think you.
Vamashina, please muyikatana kuchana. Find land there, 10 hectares, 15 hectares. These people Bakamweneshe, Professor Navantule Bombanabo. I tell you, one day we'll visit your farm.
Yes.
You must be able to get into agriculture and become a testimony. Yeah. Yeah. London Machina. Amen. Anytime.
So that the other family are putting the plan.
Amen.
Yeah.
But
Chawama. Natural.
nga mwaumva conference ba machina mukesi. I tell people nangu mwaumva vyati ilipa 10,000, 15,000, we can't go to that. Please make it a point because information mule umfwapa. Navambie tule bomba na was a team. It will change the face of this nation. Oh, he's gone. Okay, thank you. The other thing I want to ask, Mr. Kamweneshe, how do we go back to the land? You know when General Mianda used to say, at the village what?
Yeah, at whatever stuff. Yeah, I remember.
He used to talk about the
concept, yeah.
Village concept. And people misunderstood General Mianda. You remember?
Yes, sir, very much.
The president, our father, Dr. Kaunda, used to say, go back to the land. You lived in Kenya. Have you noticed that people in Kenya, whether it's a managing director or whatever, they have a piece of land where they come from. Every weekend they go back to.
The good example, Namibia, very close here.
Oh, that's what they do also?
Namibia. Every Friday, there's no one in town.
Really?
Sure. When they get off from the office, in fact, Fridays, they knock early to give them a chance to get to their chambers. It's amazing. That's what we are talking about, even MOP. MOP can never live in town. He has to live in that constituency. Okay, he's going to have a good house, but has to live within his community. Exactly. Never to town, never. MOP.
5 years, 4 years in my elections.
So Botswana, Namibia, Fridays, you see vehicles, queues going to the rural areas.
I spoke to one pastor in Nairobi. He came to our conference. I was preaching in that Valley Church, Pentecostal church. And he came with this Porsche vehicle. And I said, we were chatting, then he says, Pastor, I've got to rush back to my church. I said, where? He says about 120 kilometers from Nairobi.
Hey.
I said, how? You don't have a church here? He says, no, I come from a rich village because all the rich people here, every weekend they are not found in town. They are in their farms.
Yeah.
And they come to our church. Now you can imagine, to change the concept of people, that we can have our people, Kuchinsali, Mongu, where we can have those villagers to become millionaires, like you are saying.
Sure.
That the next set of millionaires will come from the
Yes,
ground
yes.
and technology.
Yeah. Even that's the thing. Yeah.
Oh, Jehovah God. Hello, good evening. Hello, good evening.
Good evening.
How are you, sir?
I'm okay, how are you, sir?
Permanently blessed. Who are we speaking to and where are you calling from? Mwansa Mweshi. Mwansa, please talk to the nation.
Walikulira muri byonsati komagoma ya jange chapati mudeshi na program murere dari arechinja mama mindset to depend on ourselves, not on government.
Amen.
So Amos.
Ababyaje zimwa mbiro kuranda pali program mwambia ya kwambira kuranda pali nandi will inspire me to the extent listening of the marriage to acquire small and na makona mata.
Nomba kai mwe bakona abantu mwasambira kwa FSBF tutasha kuno. Nomba na mwewe ne fitulanda pukutila abantu bonse mwikala boko mwikala konsi oko abafunda ko fumule sambilila. Limitawo kwa opportunity ati baumfa ku community. So imwe wala messenger kwa abantu banensi ko mwikala ko kwini bendi tuchinje bane ukuli ubuyoni uku nzifya wa mishanga nshimule twafwa.
Amen. Hello bamweshi mulundileko Yolandi omwamfwe mulundileko mufwaye kona yimbi abalela ndadio kukulika landi pokeni bamweshi. Mukesa bamweshi, and Zambia will never be the same. Natasha sana bamweshi. You know, Mr. Kamweneshi, 2 months ago, I was so blessed. My brother in marriage and I, he's married my wife's firstborn.
Okay.
Bakaramba Band. So we went to, you know, livestock in showground there?
Yes, yes.
Livestock. And I see this lady, she comes to stand and says, Pastor Chiwa, how are you? I said, I'm fine, how are you? She says, I'm so blessed to see you. Then she introduces herself, and apparently I knew the aunt before she died.
Okay.
She says, Pastor Chiwa, do you know that I was not a farmer? But through Camnet, have you seen this truck here?
I do.
Loaded with drip irrigation.
Wow.
She says it's going to the farm. Because of Camnet TV, I've got a big farm now. And I wish I'd started a long time ago, 2 months ago.
Bless the Lord.
I was so blessed. Somebody loaded a truck of drip irrigation and the money she's handling. You can't believe it. But somebody is looking for a job.
For a job. For a job. Yeah. No, those are good things that we need to highlight so that even the children are coming up should learn from. Okay, they should see the reality. You're not just talking from without. Yeah.
Because, was it last week, Mr. Kamweneshi, I think, I'd gone to Kabwe. Coming, Chibombo somewhere there, I stopped to buy this watermelon. You know, very nice watermelon.
Yep.
Like this, 100 kwacha. 100 kwacha, and I like watermelon. Now, here is a villager. If you power those 1,000 watermelons, more field, and you bring them to the road, That is 100,000.
Exactly, exactly, Pastor.
So how can you say a villager has no money? Somebody said to me, Pastor, I don't understand why a chief should say "Mukatulete salad" with a land.
In the land.
He's got land instead of implementing that.
Yeah.
Oh, Jehovah.
Yeah. Pastor, if you just take you back when I talked about papaya.
Okay, we'll pick up that. Okay. Let's pick up the call. Hello?
Hello?
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
How are you, sir?
I'm fine.
What?
I would like to speak to
Vasinyangwe. Ni mwana shima pepo. Mkwai.
Mukale serempema popo.
Amen. Amen. Vasinyangwe kwena lesa pale vashima bepo. Lesa pale. Amen. The other, before you talk about papaya, Mr. Kamwenesh, look at this. You know one beautiful thing about agriculture. Taya kwata age.
Yeah.
Na mbona Vasinyangwe balanda tininchi taya. Indarama balapanga shonse shobale fola. Ngabainga mu agriculture 150 hectares. The money you make within 2 years. It's the money that he has never made in his lifetime. Is it true or not?
Very true indeed. Yeah. In fact, I wanted to give an example of this agriculture, especially fruit farming. I'm happy you mentioned someone growing watermelons. Now, let me talk about papaya. Papaya, 1 tree per time. And throughout 5 years, to be giving at least 80 fruits. The ones that I have.
80 fruits.
80 fruits. But if you calculate that one.
It's those small ones.
Exactly, the short ones.
So what you have there. Yeah, the dwarf ones.
The dwarf ones.
About 80 what?
80 fruits. Okay, it's continuous growing. At the bottom you're harvesting, here the middle, and then flowers on top.
Per year or?
Well, in 6 months' time, you should have that.
6 months?
I'm telling you.
And one papaya is what?
It's 80 kwacha if you see it in ShopRite or Pick and Pay.
Okay, so 80 fruits times 80 kwacha.
And you've got 100 trees.
That is 6,400. And you've got 100 trees. This is 640,000.
And what you are talking about, don't want anybody to grow. We want everybody to, not 100 plants. The minimum we can have is 1,000 in a very small area.
You have 25,000 of those. Because when I look at this already, it's 160 million.
Exactly.
Probably 25,000.
Very simple, and demand is high within Zambia.
160 million.
Before we even go outside the country.
vakamweneshe mwandini chilaleeta n'ensoni okweba ati tuleelomba fwebe na Zambia tuleelomba. I don't know if efyalo fimbi fituseka because the people have come across with these who are technocrats like yourself. One man said, Pastor, if Zambians apply themselves to agriculture, 2 years, your economy, you pay back the money. 2 years.
Yeah, believe me.
No, but what are we waiting for?
So, dear viewers, what I did when I looked at South Africa, I looked at Kenya. Said, how are they managing? Especially the papayas I'm talking about. I flew into Nairobi. I went to get the seeds from Kenya.
You flew into Nairobi?
Nairobi.
And you said some of it comes from Spain?
Malaysia.
Malaysia.
Yes.
You got some from
I
Malaysia?
got all these varieties. I got 6 varieties, which are very, very special.
And sweet?
Sweet, those reddish ones inside. Yeah, we've got our local ones, which are yellow, but those are reddish, pink. Very, very sweet. There's nothing like this one is not good, this one is not what. They're just the same. Okay?
25,000 trees.
Believe
that
me.
is on how many hectares?
Yeah, but I haven't really calculated my hectares.
But
I think
not
about
100?
No, it's about only 4 hectares.
4 hectares?
Because these things, Pastor, it's not like a big tree where you have to
know.
plant one, the other one's there. It's only 1 meter. If it's half, it's 1.5 meters.
The ones we went to see with my wife, this side, it's just 1 meter.
Exactly.
And the fruits start from about...
Those are the ones. So you can imagine now, a small area will be able to reap a lot.
And
with
10
small
hectares.
area. Exactly.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening, Pastor.
How are you, sir?
Well, I thank you. How are you?
Permanently blessed. What's your name and where are you calling us from?
My name is Oliver Chinyama, calling from Dora.
Oliver Chinyama.
Yes, sir.
Please go ahead and speak to the nation.
I will begin by saying that the cabinet is marvelous and wonderful.
Amen.
The program that you are educating us there and the people that you bring there will really make Zambia a prosperous nation.
Amen.
What we have heard and learned there, it has really, particularly myself, changed my mindset. And I say in the near future where we have a great migration, we'll be teaching of great migration, not urban migration.
That's right.
So I would suggest probably, if you could have time, probably province by province, you have time to, also we can meet you and hear physically from you.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yes, we would really appreciate that. Some people don't have access to this TV station. Otherwise, we really appreciate the knowledge that you are giving to the nation. And probably, I think it's also important to meet our leaders from different political parties and not in government. Some they can be in government, but they don't have this powerful knowledge from you, Pastor, and the people that you bring to this administration. Thank you, Pastor.
May the Lord bless you. May the Lord bless you. You've heard what he has said. Right?
Yeah, that's the thing I'm thinking about.
You
That's
see,
good.
the problem, I'm glad that you are standing as an MP because you know what is in there. Some people nga balimina bu MP bakonka fe pajero. Amano ya bafe papajero. No kweba ti ne member of parliament.
Yeah, that's it.
But developmental issues, we can change this nation. You know,
Indeed,
it depends me. Mwasango muntu ni MP. How many people have you turned to be millionaires in your constituency?
Correct, yeah.
Because those are the things we should be talking about. Abantu baletuka balungu nabonabula economy batuka ba PF. I am not against people saying their opinion.
That's right.
But Mr. Chinyama, Mr. Chinyama, there is no way, I say it again, there is no way if we become hard workers we can be able to be crying and insulting you.
No. all these countries we see being developed, they were somewhere below. Through hard work, coordination, and things like that, they've made where they are. And we are still crying. We are insulting our leaders for no reason of their own, for their own mistakes. So these are the things we just have to think straight, get organized, and move on in that direction of agriculture. Yeah.
You were talking about the papaya or something. I cut you. You were talking
Yeah.
about something.
Yeah, so I was just saying,
There is another call. You finish. Hello? Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening, Pastor. How are you?
Permanently blessed. What's your name?
The Lord is satisfied with that.
Huh?
The Lord is satisfied with that.
I can't get it.
What's the name?
My name is Mulonga
Chilonga?
Mulonga Gesto.
Oh, Mulonda.
Yes, from Chilabombe.
From Chilabombwe. Landeni Mayo, you are the first lady millionaire to call this station. Talk to the nation.
I'm very happy to listen to Stephen Tested that God has brought us to Zambia. You have really motivated me. I'm about to retire, and I feel it's very great point to go agriculture. Although you know that as you said, it's difficult to find them. But I want to find out when the topic for will be, and there was this, I want to be blessed with what is going to be.
I'm sure this week, Madam Mulonda, God willing, we'll hear from the government officials because we really want to work together as a nation. Once the Ministry of Agriculture, the President's office, and everyone that we have engaged, they give us a response, we will announce the date. Because this is a national matter. Agriculture is a national matter.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm really so happy, please. I'm encouraged, and I would like to get to those tips for papayas and also avocados we talked about. I don't know how I can access them, and also the castor oil from Tanzania. I recently acquired the one about the hectare for the project. I want to see how much the pay by plan to the policy things and see how we can help the next step economically.
Absolutely. What you do, we have papaya seedlings in numbers, and we have people, apart from Mr. Kamweneshe here, Camnet TV has managed to put all these people with qualifications, with knowledge, and I can tell you this man is not there to become rich on your poverty. Our idea is to disseminate this information so that we start growing up together. When you hear people saying, no, for you to join my association, bring this amount, bring this, why? We must grow this nation together.
Sure.
Yeah. No, we will get to you, ma'am. Just give us your details, the number on the middle of your screen there, 0962965883. You can reach my wife and I, you can reach the Camnet. Just say, please include us in your agriculture program. We want to be part of the database, and we are compiling a lot of people, and we will let you know.
Thank you very much.
Amen.
Amen.
I'm blessed. May the Lord continue being with you and just once more.
Amen.
Thank you, Baba.
Bye.
Bless you, Madam Mulonda. Yeah.
Mulonda.
I don't know. I did.
Yeah, here I am because I've been importing seeds for papaya. And then my plan is that with working with this church, working with this. We want to start propagating now. Like we were saying about the seeds. So next year, come next year, people should be able to access us through this church, through their good work. We are saying people should be able to access, especially the conferences, should be able to access our seeds.
And there is another seed, we'll talk about it. One of the successful companies in this world, they came to Camnet TV, they've been watching this program. Mr. Kamweneshe, Zambia is blessed. These are foreigners. They are not Zambians. They look at Camnet TV and they said, Pastor, we want to partner with you, the people of Zambia. Do you know they have 6 million seedlings of one crop? I think in the next 1 week or two, we'll talk about it.
Right.
That is as good as having gold.
Yeah.
Millions of dollars. And this is a company that will buy from you right here in Zambia.
Right.
They just said, Pastor Chiluba, we want to partner with Camnet.
Yeah, a good one.
I don't see why we can't make it as a nation, Mr. Kamweneshe.
No, we are blessed. Yeah, we can
Ayama
make it.
papaya mulela and Dashua. 813. Every year.
Every year.
By the time it is for your 25,000, I just calculated for the people, that's 160 million.
Exactly.
On 4 hectares. So, and my professor Reda, we worked together. Last week we were in Kabwe with him. Can you imagine, he was saying, Pastor, this papaya can change the economy of Zambia?
Surely it can. Believe me.
Don't grow, you don't stress, but it can change.
And the demand is high. The demand is high. Yeah.
Mr. Director, please give us some text messages. I know there are some people that have been writing so that we can read. Let's not marginalize them. Text messages. Good evening, Pastor Chiluba and Mr. Kamweneshe. Pastor, may Mr. Kamweneshe explain on how to decompose the grass, which has grown on the farm. Can you shed more light, Pastor Chiluba, when you visit the Copper Belt? How can I meet you? This is John Kashweka in Kalulushi. Okay, I'll say it this way, Mr. Kashweka. He cannot start teaching here. That's why we want you to come to the conference. Because that's a topic, when he starts teaching like this, it will take time. And when I come to the Copper Belt, we will let you know. Each time my wife and I have visited, we will let you know that we are coming to the Copper Belt.
Right.
In fact, the people of Solwezi, they are so wonderful, Mr. Kamweneshe. We have more callers from Solwezi actually. And that is one of the places we are going for a conference.
Good one.
Because that area, it is just a blessing to Zambia. But let's take, that's what I can say about that. If he starts teaching now, there is time, there is a lot of things. Hello, give us that text. Evening, Pastor Chiluba and Mr. Kamweneshe. I have 3.7 hectares of land and I want to grow castor seed, which you have talked about, but where do I get the seeds I need to plant this coming season? I thank you, Pastor, for the good program. Please continue to educate Zambians so that the mindset can be changed for good. God bless you. For you to get, please call that number on the middle of your television station, 0962965883. You call that number for papaya, for other things we haven't talked about, for castor, for whatever. Call that number, we will direct you to the people handling that.
Correct.
May the Lord bless you.
Thank you.
Let's have another text. Good evening, Pastor. Pastor, thank you for the program. You have made me and my husband to do farming. We have watermelons looking for market. Plus, Pastor, include us on the Camnet TV database. I need you to call me because I have to buy your client here. My wife and I like those. I'll call you, you call us on that number. In fact, after the program on the studio, after the program in the studio, you can call me on that number on the middle, but don't call, dear Camnet viewers, don't call at midnight. You know, we have some people
exactly.
01.
Okay.
Before we push up the question, I need to sleep. So may God richly bless you, Camnet TV viewers. Let's make it together. Good evening. Men of God, this program is very powerful. I've been following it religiously. Please, may the conference kick-start soonest. We are born for greatness. God bless Camnet TV and God bless Zambia. Apostle Godwin Shawa, Lusaka. Apostle, thank you so much. I know you are one of the Camnet TV viewers. We will definitely start. Good evening, Pastor Chiluba. Great work you are doing. I think that involving government is good, but these people are too busy and might not be available for the project of that magnitude. I also wanted to ask the details for your guest, Mr. Kamweneshe. He's full of great information. Great guest. Regards, Pastor Anna John.
Thank you very much. Thank
Pastor
you.
Anna John, we can always avail these details for our guest to you when you call through Camnet TV. Thank you, Mr. Director. I want to say something. You remember I told you, even the other time, I think we brought a guest here. What is happening when I say the phone number to the nation? There is some chaos and disorder
Yes.
coming on Camnet TV. So this time now, for all my guests, for all the people, please go through Camnet TV. We are learning by the day. And remember, it's not just another channel.
Thank you, Pastor.
You want to say something about watermelons, because in watermelons, I have no idea, Mr. Kamweneshe. And also about tomatoes. I just discovered there are these tomatoes from Israel that within an acre you get 1 million or so. I was so amazed.
Yeah, yeah. Watermelons are great fruits, and if we look at Zambia, we are so blessed with the type of soil we have in many areas. The lack sand areas which are drained nicely, and look at Namibia, Botswana. As I said, we are a land-linked country. We have a lot of opportunities, a lot of markets out there. Because the viewer was saying, finding the market. It would have been wonderful to see where this viewer is calling from. If in Lusaka, you know, this we have a lot of. This ShopRite, Pick and Pay, Food Lover, Choppies, their headquarters are in Lusaka. So for those who are in Lusaka, it's very easy to get to these people, and they lead them to their outlets.
So just call Camnet TV, and we will position, Mr. Kamweneshe will position other people who have got these markets and contacts. Zambians, let's help one another. Jealous does not pay. No, he will be better than me. You know, that syndrome, it's killing this nation.
Yes, right, yeah.
You know?
That should go, really. We need to be together. We rise together before we fall together. Yes, that's the spirit.
Oh, the Lord should bless this great nation. Give us some text messages. Please keep on calling, and we want to hear from you how we can change this nation together. Good evening, Pastor Chiluba and Mr. Kamweneshe. I am very much interested in the papaya seedlings. How soon can I get them, and how much is one seedling? Chisanga Lusaka. Chisanga, we are coordinating this. We are coordinating this. Mr. Kamweneshe has seedlings. We have other people with seedlings, the same dwarf avocado we have showed you here. We have some dwarf, what's this? Papaya. From, what's this? Egypt. From Egypt. And from
Kenya.
Yeah.
Malaysia.
My goodness. Yes. Even from Brazil. Sweet, sweet papayas. And one of the things, Mr. Kamweneshe, we've talked much about the profitability of it. What is the flip side of it? The health sector. How does it improve our immunity? Fruits and all this.
Fruits are a great food in our daily intake. Yeah. If viewers would be those who are interested, I'm just writing a book to show people so that they should read about the benefits of different fruits. Especially, I've done one book on papaya.
Let's take this call. You continue. Hello.
Yes, I'm good.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Permanently blessed. What's your name, sir, and where are you calling us from?
Yeah, I'm Professor calling from Mwanza.
Professor
Mwanza, Professor from Mwanza.
Mwanza.
Yes, Mwanza.
Please go ahead and contribute to the nation.
I explained to them.
Yes, sir. Mm-hmm.
So it's a nice program. And na chumba kesho ninashtagali ya hiyo program hiyo
Yeah.
sasa ni kama zambi ya hiyo program na matambo kitani no ni ya hiyo kitani that's why we are on time.
Aha.
Actually, ni nalomba kwa hiyo maji ndani ya ndio ndani. Why you are
Mm-hmm.
Don't go to work for the China.
Mm-hmm.
I rather never do time. I wish you to that. But you don't go to time to share and to be doing in a
Mm-hmm.
Tunasema ile program ya yako humanitarian ya kumarisha watu kwa sababu kubakishi kama Zambia. Ni like a good every direct that is given to like to be to start the Japan.
Mm-hmm.
Na kama unataka kuona na ndio ni sasa line before
12 hectares. You don't have financial problem. That's a mentality to level change. You have the land. You don't have financial problem. I think when you come to the conference, Shikulu, come to this conference, let's tell you how you can start making your own money without going to the bank.
Exactly.
Am I lying?
That's right, yeah.
You don't have 12 hectares and you say you don't have money. You don't have the problem. You have the money there.
It's just a different viewer. The problem people when you talk about starting something, they say I don't have money. You see, the most important thing is the idea.
Absolutely.
Once you have the idea, you're a rich man. These money things come after. You see, because you can have no idea. We are giving 1 million today. Where do you take it? But if you have an idea, we are giving you 1 million. You know where to channel it through.
That's right.
You see, that's the best thing. Idea number one. And determination, being focused.
Just this Wakamwenesha, like you have said, my wife and I had the idea to start the TV station.
Yeah.
Not copying what other TV stations are doing. We don't compete with anybody.
No.
Because we have a vision. We didn't have the money. We just bought 2 cameras. The government gave us the license. You know, these other things, they come later. It's the
That's
idea.
right. Yeah.
You know? So, sir, you have a lot of money. If my brother here has 25,000 papayas on 4 hectares, and you have 12, you are 3 times richer than my guest here tonight.
Yes.
Let's have the last messages before we get into the news time. Let's have the last messages. We read them back to back. And those of you CamNet viewers who want to talk to me, I can't wait for the conference. We will definitely announce. Keep watching CamNet TV. Thank you so much. Good evening, Pastor and Mr. Kamweneshe. You are placed for a time like this for a reason. If we Zambian can spend much time to go into agriculture, we won't even have time to fight each other. That's
Right.
true. Pastor, continue. The nation is being blessed. May God bless Zambia. Camnet TV, indeed, not just another channel. I am a follower and learner. Continue. This is Muima from Lusaka. You were born for greatness.
That's right.
Amen.
Amen.
Good evening, Pastor. I am very happy to hear a blessing message from Camnet TV this morning. I am a Catholic by denomination. For sure, Pastor, your daily programming or procrastination, what's that word?
I think
Proclamation, blessings to the nation. Believe me, through your wonderful programs, Zambia shall be free. This is Charlie Kosa. This person is a Camnet TV viewer. But Charlie Kosa,
Okay, wonderful.
Take number phone. Let's that. May we have one after another? If there are people, no messages. Thank you. I want you to say the last words. I know we are getting into the news time. No phone call, Mr. Director. Thank you so much for every Camnet TV viewer. And please say something. You wanted to say about, I don't know whether papaya, whether something, we were being interrupted.
Yeah, so we are looking at developing our nation through agriculture. We should forget about mining. Okay, we can do mining, but the first thing we should think about is agriculture. Then the other things follow. Okay, so we're asking our viewers, every Zambian, to take agriculture as a serious business. This country's economy will change in no time.
Amen. I'm so thankful, Mr. Kamweneshe. We will definitely wait. And you also write books. How many books have you written? I wanted to...
I'm an author and publisher. I think I've done up to about maybe 100 books, more than 100.
100
Yeah,
books.
yes. Because I started with small children, books for children, because we realized, not Zambia alone, literacy is going down. Children now are on phones. They're not reading. There's no reading material. So that's why I thought of coming up with a publishing house where you're publishing books for children. We went up there, we realized up to grade 12, now we are in tertiary. We have written books for university and other colleges.
My goodness.
Yeah. So we realize that we are saying Zambia. We have to import books from India, from UK. Let's look at the tertiary. We have, like, in education, psychology, philosophy, sociology, the Benjamin, entrepreneurship. So viewers, we've got nice books on entrepreneurship. How can run our own businesses. So these are run in all the colleges in Zambia. Yes.
Welcome, the TV viewers. You know, time does not permit me. The news people are standing by, waiting. And tomorrow evening, make a date with Frank on Camnet on Tuesday. Mr. Ambassador Mutubila will be here. And let's change our nation. I believe that we are going to change the nation. Look, I am 61. But at 61 now I'm feeling like I'm 25,
Yes.
Mr. Kamweneshe. And I want to make money, not just sitting here waiting for my church members to dump things on my feet. No. We are changing the concept of the church members. I've told them, get land. I will take some of the people I interview on Camnet to come to your land. I want my church members to benefit. You know, even when my wife and I will go to heaven, I want somebody saying, thank God for Pastor Chirwa. He did not just preach,
Legacy.
but these papayas are here because of his ministry.
Yes.
May God bless you. Keep watching Camnet TV. This has been National Matters. Every Monday, make a date with me. And don't forget, invite other people to watch Camnet TV and give me a call on that number on the middle and a time except when I'm sleeping. But let's chart the way forward. Zambia, you were born for greatness. May the Lord bless this great nation of Zambia. Bye-bye.
Bye.